Hi everybody, welcome. What we're going to be talking about today is value and how to build value in the features that we have on our cars. And I think all of us have heard the expression, if you've been around sales any length of time, that every time you give a feature you have to give a benefit, which is true. But let's take that a little bit further and look at how we can build value in everything that we talk about with our customers. So let's look at the feature, whatever it is, the item that we're talking about, and then we have to explain what it is, how it works, and then lastly, what's the value to the customer. So let's use anti-lock brakes just as an example. And with anti-lock brakes, what we would say is something like this. We'd say, this car comes equipped with anti-lock brakes. And the bridge that you would use in between that would be, which makes it easy to get to the explanation. So this car comes equipped with anti-lock brakes, which means then you have to explain it. And the way you explain it is you say it allows you, anti-lock brakes allows you to stop in panic situations without locking up your brakes, and you can maintain steering control. So let's talk a little bit about that. I'm going to use this plate as an example. But if you look at a normal brake that's not anti-lock, when you're going along and the caliper, and this would be the caliper here, grabs the brake, and if it grabs it with sufficient force, it can lock up the wheel. In other words, the wheel is not turning. Now what happens then is that with the wheel not turning, no matter which way you turn the wheel, you still keep going straight ahead. You can go either way, but guess what? You have no steering control. With anti-lock brakes, what happens is in a panic situation, it will release the caliper and then put it back on, release it and put it back on, but it does it very, very fast. So it allows you to brake as fast as physically possible and still maintain steering control. So with anti-lock brakes, when you turn the wheel, the car will turn that direction or whatever direction you're facing. So that's the basics of how it works. And a computer controls that, and it goes way faster than we could do it ourselves. So we have the explanation, and then we have the next bridge, which means to you. And the key thing is you. Because what really matters is what it means to the customer. And what could it mean to the customer? Well, let's take a look at this all the way through so you get an idea as to how it works. So you would say to a customer, Mr. Customer, this car comes equipped with anti-lock brakes, which means that in a panic braking situation, it doesn't allow your wheels to lock up, and you can maintain steering control even though you're under full braking. And if you've ever been out on ice or in snow, I think we've all had the experience, if you have, that when you hit the brake and you go to turn, the car doesn't turn. It just continues to go straight. You've probably seen, if you watch races, where a guy goes up into the wall because his brakes had locked up and they don't have anti-lock brakes on those cars and went off on a tangent. So it allows you to steer and brake at the same time. Which means to you, Mr. Customer, let's say you're driving home from your in-laws on a Sunday night, you've got two kids in the back seat, and it's raining, and you're driving down this road, and all of a sudden somebody comes flying out of a side road, and you hit your brakes as hard as you can. If you didn't have anti-lock brakes, the chances are, in the panic situation, both feet on the brakes, and no matter which way you turn the wheel, you're still going to keep going straight ahead, and you have the chance of hitting that other car. Now with anti-lock brakes, same situation, you hit the brakes and you slow down as fast as you physically can, but you have the ability to steer, so you can steer around the obstacle and continue on your way home with your wife and your kids safe in the car. Now, that's what they're buying it for, because nobody really cares about anti-lock brakes in itself. What they're buying is the value. What's in it for them? And I call this the biggest radio station in the world. And you guys probably know that. And you guys, of course, out west probably have a K in front of most of your stations. But The WIFM radio station is what customers listen to 24/7. That is the only thing that's important for them. And obviously what we're talking about here is what's in it for me. This is really the key when you think about what customers want. This is the key. Value is what it's really about as far as the customer is concerned, and all they care about is what's in it for me. Why should I care about this particular feature? And that's how you help to build value.